My final 2023 mock draft is finally here. In honor of the draft being tomorrow, April 27, 2023, I thought what more would it be to have one more mock draft. Also, it's the last recording in this studio ever. I'll be in a new studio starting Friday. Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham, and company have 10 total picks in this upcoming draft, and 4 of them being within the first 3 rounds. I don't think he's done trading back yet. I did a trade back video on Tuesday, and I really think Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham are going to pull off one more trade back in order to get that early second round pick. This draft is stacked with talent, and the Chicago Bears can address the final areas of need in order to become a playoff contender. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for your support during this offseason. It's been absolutely fantastic getting to know all of you guys, and I can't wait for more. This has been awesome, so just want to give you guys a quick thank you. I honestly think this is the greatest week of the year besides opening day for baseball and opening week for the NFL. And I have full faith in Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham to get the job done. Before I begin on my final mock draft, make sure you enter our draft prize giveaway. There are 3 total winners. 2 winners will get the official NFL draft hat that they're giving out to players when they're drafted by their respective team, followed by I will be getting someone a custom jersey for whoever the Bears select in the first round. Very excited for that. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel and follow us on Twitter in order to enter. Can't wait to pick a winner on Sunday, April 30th. All right, final mock draft of the season. Let's get into it. Like I said earlier in this episode, I think Chicago is going to trade back one more time. I think they're going to add more offensive linemen in the first couple of rounds, along with addressing the defensive front. So I think it's going to be trenches heavy for this draft. I also said that they're going to trade back one more time. And with the rumors that have been swirling around in the NFL, I think that it's going to happen. I think the Chicago Bears are going to trade the number 9 overall pick with the Pittsburgh Steelers for their number 17 overall pick, the number 32 overall pick, which is actually owned by the Chicago Bears that we traded for the Chase Claypool trade, along with a 2024 fourth round pick. The Steelers really want Jalen Carter. I already explained why I'm okay with the Bears not getting Jalen Carter, but if he is available at 9, I think Pittsburgh's going to come calling. So based on that, this is the order of the draft. The Bears will have the number 17, number 32, number 53, number 61, number 64, number 103, number 133, number 136, number 148, number 218, and number 258 in the 2023 NFL draft. That would give the Bears 5 picks within the first 3 rounds out of the 11 that they have now. So with my pick at number 17 via the Pittsburgh Steelers, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Darnell Wright from Tennessee. The 6'5", 333-pound senior who is 22 years old is from Huntington, West Virginia, and played right tackle for Tennessee last year. In 2022, he only allowed 5 quarterback hurries along with 2 quarterback hits and 0 sacks in 829 offensive snaps. He also strictly played right tackle, which is the position that the Bears are looking to fill this offseason. According to NFLDraftBuzz.com, he has an 86.6 overall grade, 40 time of 5.01 with arm length of 33 1/4 inches, along with hand size of 9 inches in diameter. His pass blocking is 84 out of 100, and his run blocking is 72 out of 100. Out of 507 passing snaps in 2022, 0 sacks allowed. That is enormous for the Chicago Bears, considering last season they tied the league in most sacks giving up, and Justin Fields was running for his life. Not good for him, and this obviously completely addresses that area of need. He was the best right tackle in college. That's why I'm going to go with him as well. And Ian Cunningham and Ryan Poles said they're going at whatever pick they are at. They're going for the best talent, and I think that Wright will fall to 17. He's very good at reading defenses. He's very good at pass blocking, and overall, he would be a huge upgrade to the Chicago Bears offensive line. At pick number 32 via the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is actually the Chicago Bears, so it's not really via the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore. But at pick 32, I am taking wide receiver Jalin Hyatt, also from Tennessee. A few analysts have him in the late first, early second, and I think he could complete the wide receiver room for Justin Fields and the offense as an entire whole from his insane speed and great ability. The 6', 180-pound wide receiver is only 21 years old from Irmo, South Carolina, and the Bears have been absolutely looking to bring someone in that can completely finish this offense, and I think getting a speedster and special slot wide receiver like him would answer all of our issues. Obviously, while also getting Darnell Wright. In 2022, Hyatt had 167 receptions for 1,267 yards, 16.3 yards per catch, and 9 touchdowns. Very impressive year for Hyatt. He plays in a tough conference, the SEC, which honestly, He played against ranked teams every single week. And he was a huge help for Tennessee this offseason in their offensive success. He is a 91 grade overall, according to NFLDraftBuzz.com, which making him the number 3 ranked wide receiver, according to their website. But for some reason, PFF has him falling to 66 due to his size, which I think is ridiculous. But anyway, he has a 40 time of 4.29, insanely fast, which could help expand the offense significantly. Hands 77 out of 100, making him a very reliable wide receiver. Short routes 85 out of 100, something that the Bears struggled with last year as well. Medium routes 90 out of 100, and the deep ball 92 out of 100. On top of it, he's a 68 out of 100 blocking grade, which is huge, especially for a strong running team like the Chicago Bears for going upfield. He also helps spread the field so he can trick out defenders, especially defensive backs, going downfield and then ending up blocking them on big runs by whether that be Justin Fields or any of our running backs. At pick number 53 via the Baltimore Ravens and the Roquan Smith deal, I have the Chicago Bears selecting defensive lineman edge Adetomiwa Edebare from Northwestern. The 6'1", 282-pound defensive lineman / edge is a 22-year-old from Kansas City, Missouri. For the Wildcats last year, he had 38 total tackles, 27 being solo, with 9 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and 1 pass deflection. He's an 86.9 overall grade according to NFLDraftBuzz.com with a 40 time of 4.49 for a big man like that. That is stupid fast. Along with his tackling 55 out of 100, his pass rush 90 out of 100, and his run defense 77 out of 100. His speed alone is super attractive for his position because he is able to go after quick running backs off the edge and be able to catch them very quickly and significantly. On top of that, the pass rush that the Bears ranked 32nd of getting pressure on the quarterback last season. I think that's a huge addition, and he could be an instant starter for this team. At pick number 61 via the San Francisco 49ers, because of the Carolina Panthers trade, they own that pick and traded it to the Chicago Bears. I have the Chicago Bears selecting defensive tackle Kanehu Benton from Wisconsin. The 6'4", 303-pound senior is only 21 years old from Janesville, Wisconsin. Cannot confirm or not if he's a Packers fan, but we're just going to put that to the side. For a defensive tackle in 2022 for the Wisconsin Badgers, he had 36 total tackles, 20 being solo with 4.5 sacks and 2 pass deflections. An 84.9 grade according to NFLDraftBuzz.com with a 40 time of 5.08. His tackling is 59 out of 100, but his pass rush is 86 out of 100 for a defensive tackle, which is absolutely enormous up the middle. Along with that, his run defense is 64 out of 100, making him a strong addition and could improve the Bears' run defense in the trenches. A big body defensive tackle is someone that the Chicago Bears need. I think he could be a great pairing with Justin Jones, especially in the Bears' defensive scheme. Along with that, he had 4.5 sacks as a defensive tackle, which is very hard to do up the middle. He has great lower and upper body strength along with great moves, and I think he'd be a huge addition and an instant starter for the Chicago Bears. At pick number 64, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Ricky Stromberg, center from Arkansas. I know I sound like a broken record, but I want this guy to be our center that bad. The 6'4", 318-pound center is a senior at 22 years old from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He has an 85.1 grade according to NFLDraftBuzz.com. He was the 11th ranked offensive lineman in this upcoming draft and the number 3 center. A 40 time of 5.15. His pass blocking is 85 out of 100, and his run blocking is 93 out of 100. You might be going, Darnell Wright had worse stats than that, but he is a center, which in those situations is easier, which by no means does he have an easy job as a center, but he's a big bodied player that would be up the middle and give that instant security to Justin Fields. And honestly, Cody Whitehair and Lucas Patrick are not going to be around forever. So maybe they could do a rotation with him, or hell, even just make him the starter, cut Whitehair, save $9.9 million and carry that over into next season. Insanely active hands for a center. He's a very strong run blocker at all angles. Along with that, he's insanely nasty down the middle. A lot of defensive tackles in college last year said that they hated going against him strictly because of the fact that they couldn't do anything against Ricky Stromberg. Also big and slim, something that Ryan Poles is looking for. At pick number 103, I am taking a defensive back, and I'm taking JL Skinner from Boise State. The 6'4", 220-pound defensive back is a 22-year-old senior from San Diego, California. In 2022, he had 62 total tackles, 36 being solo, 26 being assists, along with 4 interceptions and 4 pass deflections. An 85.2 grade according to NFLDraftBuzz.com makes him the number 17th ranked defensive back in this draft. A 40 time of 4.55, not the fastest, but his QBR when targeted is 55.4. Quick explanation, that means that the quarterback literally can't do anything against him. Tackling 74 out of 100, giving him the confidence that if anyone does get past our initial front guys, that JL Skinner can go out and tackle him for sure. Along with run defense, 65 out of 100, definitely a big upgrade from last year. Coverage, 78 out of 100, another big upgrade and good rotation guy. And man and press coverage, 74 out of 100. Bears need a big defensive back, in my opinion, to go after bigger wide receivers. He does have pretty strong speed, not the fastest, but his hitting ability, his vision, and ball hawk mentality would do great in Alan Williams' defense, and I really like him, especially at this pick. At pick number 133 via the Philadelphia Eagles in the Robert Quinn trade, I have the Chicago Bears going with a running back, and I have them picking up running back Zach Evans from Ole Miss. The 5'11", 202-pound running back is insanely quick for his size and ability. Along with he has great vision, and he's only 21 years old. He's from Houston, Texas, and in 2022, he had 936 rushing yards, which is 6.5 yards per carry, 9 rushing touchdowns, 12 receptions for 119 total yards, and shows that he can play both in the running and in the passing game. He's a 40 time of 4.42, which is a little bit faster than Justin Fields, but hey, I will absolutely take that any day of the week, especially for his size. Along with his rushing grade overall being 81 out of 100, his ability to break tackles 79 out of 100, making it hard for defensive people in order to go after him and tackle him. His receiving in hands is 58 out of 100, which is fine, totally fine. He's able to break it out in the outfield as a quick kind of security route for Justin Fields if he needed to. Pass blocking 33 and run blocking 55 out of 100. Not the strongest, but that can be worked on. Pretty big guy to be able to run a 4.42 40 from the backfield, making him a threat to break it anytime, along with his great agility and breaking tackle ability. I really like Zach Evans, especially in the later rounds, as running back is a position that honestly gets overlooked unless you're Adrian Peterson type talent. But I really like Zach Evans, and I think that the Bears should give him a look and at least snag him. At pick number 136, I'm going back to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going with linebacker D. Winters from TCU. The 6'1", 230-pound senior is 22 years old from Breckham, Texas, and had a hell of a year for the Bullfrogs last year. In 2022, he had 79 total tackles, 48 being solo, 31 assists, along with 7.5 sacks as a middle linebacker, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and 2 pass deflections. An 80.4 grade according to NFLDraftBuzz.com. I think that he is a sleeper in this draft. 40 time of 4.5, giving him the ability to keep up with running backs and quicker running backs. Tackling 57 out of 100, but his pass rush 70 out of 100 as a linebacker could make him a blitzing threat. The run defense 49 out of 100. I wish it was 89 out of 100. Run defense, that's okay. It happens. I mean, he's not going to be a starter. He's more of a depth guy, but a coverage 57 out of 100. I like that he can get after the quarterback and be on defensive blitz packages, but I would like to see him on special teams as a true special team specialist. I think he could be a great pickup, especially in the later round. Pick 148 from the New England Patriots this past season. I have the Chicago Bears selecting cornerback Cameron Mitchell from Northwestern. The 5'11", 191-pound defensive back is only 21 years old from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Ryan Poles loves local grown talent, and I could see him at least drafting someone from the Chicagoland area in this draft, and I think it's going to be Cameron Mitchell. In 2022 for the Wildcats, he had 52 tackles, 38 being solo, with 7 pass deflections and 1 interception. He had an 81 grade according to NFLDraftBuzz.com with a 4.47 40 time. Very fast, but not with the greatest QBR, which is why he kind of drops down on this list because his QBR when targeted is 85.4. But his tackling ability is great with 84 out of 100. His run defense is also 84 out of 100, so he's able to take on a running back or even a wide receiver in the open field, along with coverage and press 74 and 75 out of 100. It's a very heavy defensive back draft, and I would like the Bears to go after him. Again, another special teams guy potentially, but also a good rotation guy. At pick 218, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Fabian Lovett, a defensive lineman from Florida State. The big 6'4", 306-pound, 21-year-old junior is from Vicksburg, Minnesota. And the 6'4", 306-pound, 21-year-old junior from Florida State is an absolute beast, and I could see him being a good depth guy for the Chicago Bears defensive line. In 2022, he only had 10 total tackles, 5 solo, 5 assists, but he did have 1 sack and 1 forced fumble. NFL Draft Buzz does give him an 81.6 grade overall because of his pass rush ability, which is 67 out of 100. His rush defense is 73 out of 100, and his tackling is 39 out of 100, but that's okay. He's more of a wall more than a tackler. Massive man up the middle could be a huge addition for the Chicago Bears. And honestly, I talked about him in my first mock draft, and I brought him back for the last because I do like him as a sleeper pick. And with my final pick in my last mock draft of 2023, I'm going with someone a little bit different. Round 7, 258, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Will Mallory, tight end from Miami. Bears do have 2 legitimate tight ends in Cole Kmet and Robert Tonyan, but I could see the Chicago Bears absolutely getting one more guy for the rotation because Cole Kmet is on the last year of his contract. Will Mallory is 6'5", 245, a 22-year-old senior from Jacksonville, Florida. 42 receptions for 538 receiving yards, a 12.8 yard per catch, and 3 touchdowns for a tight end is not too shabby. A 40 time of 4.59 makes him pretty darn quick with a 78.8 grade according to NFLDraftBuzz.com. Hands 71 out of 100, short route 73 out of 100, medium route 79 out of 100, deep routes 82 out of 100, and blocking 56 out of 100. Very big, very fast tight end, but also a big red zone target that you could obviously have more depth for, as I believe the Bears only have 2 tight ends on their roster at the moment. Don't quote me on that. I forgot to look. I'm sorry. Those are my 11 picks. The Bears do have 10 because this is with a trade back, which I do think is going to happen. I could not be more excited for the draft, and I cannot thank you guys enough for a great last 3 months of just complete player analysis. I hope I get some of them right. I hope that you guys enjoyed sticking around because once this team is completely solidified through the draft, I'm doing full analysis on every single player we bring in. I'm doing group analysis, and then we got training camp. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, bear down. Stay tuned for our live stream on Thursday night with Tony Sapita, and I will be logging in myself. I am traveling for work. Very excited for it, but as always, thank you again, and bear down.